Hi NDIS providers, my name is Eliza and I'm the National NDIS Manager at Global Compliance Certification. In this video, we'll be having a chat about 0104 High Intensity Daily Personal Activities. Registration Group 0104 High Intensity Daily Personal Activities is for providers who are offering services to NDIS participants who have more complex needs, and where the provider needs to utilise support workers who have additional training or qualifications to assist with the management of the participants' complex needs. So what kind of supports are considered high intensity, and what other things should a provider consider if they're adding this registration group to their scope? Per the NDIA's pricing arrangements document, a support is considered a high intensity support if the participant requires assistance from a support worker with additional qualifications and experience relevant to the participant's complex needs. The high intensity price limits may be considered when there is frequent assistance required to manage challenging behaviours that require intensive positive behaviour support, or continual active support is required due to high medical support needs, such as unstable seizure activity or respiratory support. So, what should providers consider if they're looking to add this registration group to their scope? If your cohort is likely to include participants where you'll be managing challenging behaviours that require intensive positive behaviour support, providers should consider the relevance of also being audited and including Module 2A on their scope, which is regarding the implementation of restrictive practices. Any participant who has a behaviour support plan, which includes regulated restrictive practices, must be provided services by a registered NDIS provider who has been audited against Module 2A. So if you're likely to have these types of cohort of participants within your scope or business or service offerings, consider Module 2A. If you'll be supporting participants that have high medical support needs, you may wish to consider the relevance of Module 1. Module 1 covers high intensity daily personal activities in clinical supports, such as peg feeding, catheter management, and subcutaneous injection. It's important that providers review the practice standards and quality indicators of both Module 2A and Module 1 when they're looking to apply for these registration categories. As well as the Module 1 practice standards and quality indicators, providers delivering clinical supports to NDIS participants should review the high intensity skills descriptors. Whilst it's not mandatory to be audited against Module 1 or Module 2A to include 0104 high intensity daily personal activities on your scope, it's really important to consider the relevance of these two registration categories and undertaking an audit against these modules so that you have flexibility in how you can utilise that registration group, and also to ensure that the services that you're providing are compliant to the practice standards and quality indicators.